One issue, 2 points of view. Agora.
French Green Party member Hélène Flautre runs the European Parliament's Human Rights Subcommittee. Italian Liberal Marco Capotto is Vice President of the Transnational Radicals, and human rights is also one of his areas of primary interest. Euronews brought them together to discuss their take on America's presidential election campaign, in particular the differing interpretations of human rights on the two sides of the Atlantic.
In the USA, there are problems. There's capital punishment, racial discrimination in the use of the death penalty in the justice system. Problems we don't have in Europe. But on the other hand, in the States, there's a capacity to speak out and put these themes at the heart of the political debate. In Italy, for example, there are no black or immigrant political or business leaders. There's no one in a position of responsibility at all.
And it's not a matter of public debate either.
Well, it's true that in the US we know there are situations, like with the death penalty, that we rightly find unacceptable from a human rights point of view. But all the same, I believe the institutional, political and electoral systems allow a freedom of debate and confrontation that, unfortunately, ours don't. Even at an EU level, it's always really complicated to discover who makes the decisions. The debate gets lost in the corridors and committee rooms, and so does the possibility of dialogue.
I imagine you've heard the three presidential debates, well, maybe not all three, but at least one of them. In this sort of exercise, I find that there's no straight speaking, no proposals from either McCain or Obama that get to the heart of the matter. They're more like two football teams who play defensively and avoid giving away goals. So I haven't felt what you've talked about in the debates. I think, for example, we can ask ourselves why the economic crisis favors Obama. It could also favor a retreat into protectionism, a defensive and eventually aggressive attitude towards the outside world. But that hasn't happened. Why? Well, because I believe Obama straight away linked it to social questions and issues of discrimination. And he did this superbly well. When he says the poor who have no access to healthcare should benefit from a collective response, it's clearly a very different proposal to McCain's. It's the same with fiscal policy. We speak about human rights, but they include the right to health, education, work, a dignified and decent lifestyle. And I find Obama on these questions has made a stand that's not automatically a vote winner in American culture. He takes it for granted there should be collective responses to these sorts of problems.
Collectif pour répondre à ce type de situation.
Je crois qu'ils sont en train, en tant que société aux États-Unis, de sortir.
I think American society is moving out of a phase in its history. This electoral campaign is at the start of this process, which, seen from Europe, is very important.
En la regardant de l'Europe sur deux sujets.
Two things. The first, the religious fundamentalism of President Bush, and the second, after the 11th of September, foreign policy. We can't imagine things will change overnight, but already in this campaign, we've seen an America that seems ready to distance itself from the idea that religious ideology be used as a tool to justify political acts.
En tant qu'outil pour justifier l'action politique de la question des cellules souches.
This goes from stem cells to scientific research to the religious justification for the international role of the US. This page has been turned.
C'est une page qui est déjà tournée.
Il y a un autre sujet dont on n'a pas énormément parlé, c'est la dégradation.
There's another subject that we haven't spoken about a lot, and that's how the American way of life contributes to environmental degradation. It's been touched on a little. Obama, for example, says yes to everything. Yes to nuclear power, yes to renewable energy, but who talks about energy efficiency? The very idea of cutting back and reducing energy consumption isn't mentioned. Yet at the same time, during the campaign, it's been said if everyone had an American lifestyle, we'd need 7 planets. That should make us think.
Je parlais avant des thèmes qui sont sont un peu quand même effacés de la campagne.
You've spoken about themes that have been absent from the campaign. It's true for torture and human rights, but I think there's another theme, one that is taboo in Europe too, but even more so in America. Maybe tomorrow, not in this election, but in the next, we'll be able to talk about it. And that's the question of the so-called war on drugs. I find the sort of prohibition policy towards drugs is the direct cause of urban violence and America's vast prison population.
L'immense taux d'emprisonnement qu'il y a aux États-Unis. 2 millions de personnes.
2 million people are behind bars in America, a rate that's comparable to China, 10 times the European average. That is truly frightening.
Alors, ça, c'est vraiment quelque chose d'effrayant.
Et tu sais, là, sur cette question, Human Rights Watch a sorti un
And you know, on this question, Human Rights Watch published a report last year on how the drugs war is being waged and how it's totally racially biased. It's truly scary. The figures show that for the same number of consumers, black or white, if you're a black consumer, and this is in the least discriminatory states, you are 10 times more likely to be arrested. And this is because certain districts are much more heavily policed.
Nous, comme parti radical en Italie, on avait lancé il y a quelques années.
We in the Radical Party in Italy, we launched a few years ago the idea of a United States of Europe and America. What we wanted to say by that was that it's very important to have a stronger common institutional framework with individual rights as the baseline rather than cooperation between states and governments. There are things that go on in America that, for us, are unacceptable. While they can criticize us on our strategy or international policies, what unites us is stronger than what divides us. So I think political and institutional action is needed.
How today can we invent a cooperation between the developed nations of the EU and America that doesn't threaten the right to life, the right to food, the right of access to water, and the natural resources in the rest of the world? That's a subject that interests me and should be mobilizing us on both sides of the Atlantic.